welcome to Veterans Memorial here at the Garfield County Courthouse. This month of April is dedicated to raising awareness for child abuse and calling on our community to recognize the signs and symptoms and know how to respond. While we live in one of the most beautiful and affluent areas of the state and country, sadly, we are not immune to this issue. Child abuse is not limited to just one race, gender, or socioeconomic status. It occurs in loving, close-knit families, as well as troubled families. It can occur to the brightest of children, and it occurs to children with disabilities. 1 in 10 children will experience sexual abuse before they turn 18. That is one child too many. Today, we are acknowledging the children that Bridge Regional Center and CASA of the Ninth, two organizations that work closely with child victims of abuse and neglect, provided services to in 2020. These children were referred to us by law enforcement and/or the Department of Human Services from Eagle, Pitkin, Garfield, and Rio Blanco counties. So we want to acknowledge and thank them for the partnership we have. When we say one child too many, we certainly mean it. 305 children and their non-offending family members were provided support and services by our organizations. Today, we will honor these children, speak up for them, and we will plant a pinwheel representing each child, filling up this area that will remain on display for the entire month of April. To acknowledge our children and express that this issue does live in our communities, we will call our children Jane and John and share with you their ages. We have volunteers that will read these names and plant the pinwheels. If you would like to take part in some way or learn more about our organizations, please see us at the information table or check out our websites. Let's get started with our first volunteer.
Good morning, my name is Lee Dameth, and I'm the Chief Investigator with the District Attorney's Office for the 9th District, covering Rio Blanco, Garfield, and Pitkin counties. And I've had the opportunity now to work with Bridge and CASA of the 9th for the past several years, working on our cases. So if we're ready to go with the pinwheels here, we'll get started. Jane Doe, age 6. Jane Doe, age 12. John Doe, age 5. John Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 13. John Doe, age 15. John Doe, age 1. Jane Doe, age 12. John Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 16. Jane Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 15. John Doe, age 10. John Doe, age 11. Jane Doe, age 15. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 16. John Doe, age 4. Jane Doe, age 5. John Doe, age 1. Jane Doe, age 6. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 13. Jane Doe, age 8. John Doe, age 13. John Doe, age 6. Jane Doe, age 3. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Art Riddle. I'm the mayor of the town of Newcastle. And I want to say it's a huge privilege to be here to honor these 300 plus children. There's almost every day, there isn't a day that goes by where you can't read something in the paper about a child abuse suspect being arrested. It's very sad, it's sick, and it's wrong. Jane Doe, age 12. John Doe, 14. John Doe, age 3. John Doe, age 15. John Doe, age 10. Jane Doe, age 12. Jane Doe, age 6. Jane Doe, age 9. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 5. Jane Doe, age 13. Jane Doe, age 14. John Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 4. Jane Doe, age 14. John Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 4. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 11. Jane Doe, age 1. John Doe, age 9. Jane Doe, age 8. John Doe, age 6. Jane Doe, age 8. John Doe, age 11. Jane Doe, age 12. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 15. John Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 4. Jane Doe, age 6. John Doe, age 4. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Debbie Wild. I've spent the last almost 40 years working for children, families, and others in our community, for 30 of those years with Youth Zone. So I've worked with these organizations and many others for the benefit of children such as these. So this is very, very real to me. Continue to work in our community because these issues never end, but it is our attention to them and our intention to make things better for our children that matters. Jane Doe, age 15. Jane Doe, age 17. Jane Doe, age 8. John Doe, less than 1. John Doe, age 6. Jane Doe, age 12. John Doe, age 12. Jane Doe, age 5. Jane Doe, age 11. Jane Doe, age 14. John Doe, age 1. Jane Doe, age 4. Jane Doe, age 7. John Doe, age 5. John Doe, age 13. Jane Doe, age 11. John Doe, age 13. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 7. Jane Doe, age 10. John Doe, age 6. John Doe, age 9. Jane Doe, age 17. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 15. John Doe, age 12. Jane Doe, 1 year old. John Doe, age 6. John Doe, age 8.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Wild. I'm a longtime educator for the Roaring Fork Schools at Glenwood Springs High School. The one thing I can say is that every student, every kid that walks into your classroom in our lives has a story. We have no idea what that story is, but we do know that they need our love, our support, and our care as adults in this community. So it is an honor to be here to recognize these children. John Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 11. John Doe, age 2. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 5. Jane Doe, age 9. Jane Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 10. John Doe, less than 1 year old. Jane Doe, age 1. Jane Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 6. Jane Doe, age 13. John Doe, age 4. Jane Doe, age 15. Jane Doe, age 16. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 11. John Doe, age 4. John Doe, age 10. Jane Doe, age 7. Jane Doe, age 15. John Doe, age 2. John Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 5. Jane Doe, less than 1 year old. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 9. John Doe, age 8. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mason Hostat, and I am here representing as the coordinator for Garfield County's Child Fatality Review and Prevention Team. We are mandated by the state to review all cases of child fatality that happen in our county and that fall under preventable circumstances. And so I work closely with CASA as well as with Riverbridge. I'm also here as the chair of the Suicide Prevention Coalition of Garfield County. We know that multiple levels of violence have intersecting risk and protection factors. And so even though April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, these things work in coordination. It's not a vacuum of one thing happening in our communities. They all come together. And so I'm honored to read these names. Jane Doe, 6 years. Jane Doe, 11 years. Jane Doe, 10 years. Jane Doe, 13 years. Jane Doe, 14. John Doe, 7. Jane Doe, 16. John Doe, 3. Sorry. Jane Doe 4, Jane Doe 8, John Doe 10, Jane Doe 16, John Doe 5, John Doe 16, John Doe 11, Jane Doe 6, Jane Doe 13, Jane Doe 12, Jane Doe 16, Jane Doe 17, Jane Doe 11, John Doe 9, John Doe 15, Jane Doe 8, Jane Doe 3, Jane Doe 2, Jane Doe 9, John Doe 7, Jane Doe 14, and Jane Doe 6. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Paige Quist, and I'm a sexual assault and abuse survivor. Jane Doe, age 11. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 13. Jane Doe, age 16. John Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 5. Jane Doe, age 17. John Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 15. John Doe, age 5. John Doe, age 6. John Doe, age 2. John Doe, age 17. John Doe, age 9. Jane Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 15. John Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 10. John Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 2. John Doe, age 6. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 9. John Doe, age 10. Jane Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 7. Jane Doe, age 17. Jane Doe, age 15. John Doe, age 3. John Doe, age 9. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 12.
Hello, my name is Cody, and I'm a child abuse survivor. And let's start. Jane Doe, age 13. Jane Doe, age 18. Jane Doe, age 10. Jane Doe, age 10. John Doe, age 12. John Doe, age 4. Jane Doe, age 6. Jane Doe, age 7. Jane Doe, age 11. John Doe, age 3. John Doe, age 10. Jane Doe, age 16. Jane Doe, age 4. Jane Doe, age 5. John Doe, age 2. John Doe, age 13. John Doe, age 16. Jane Doe, age 17. Jane Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 10. John Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 12. Jane Doe, age 6. John Doe, age 2. Jane Doe, age 9. Jane Doe, age 5. Jane Doe, age 16. John Doe, age 12. Jane Doe, age 5. John Doe, age 10. Jane Doe, age 5. John Doe, age 12. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Kennedy. I'm Paige's older sister. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, age 11. Jane Doe, age 9. John Doe, age 3. John Doe, age 9. John Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 18. Jane Doe, age 14. John Doe, age 11. Jane Doe, age 17. Jane Doe, age 16. Jane Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 15. John Doe, age 6. Jane Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 13. Jane Doe, age 11. Jane Doe, age 8. Jane Doe, age 13. Jane Doe, age 17. Jane Doe, age 4. John Doe, age 11. Jane Doe, age 17. John Doe, age 9. Jane Doe, age 12. John Doe, age 5. John Doe, age 7. Jane Doe, age 3. Jane Doe, age 5. And John Doe, age 13.
Hi, hola. My name is Fesco Mariscal, and I'm part of the River Bridge board, and also a town council in Newcastle. Thank you for inviting me to read these names, and this is really, really painful as a mom with 4 kids. Jane Doe, 5 years. Jane Doe, age of 5. John Doe, age of 8. Jane Doe, age of 8. Jane Doe, age of 6. Jane Doe, 1 year old. Jane Doe, age 14. Jane Doe, 12 years old. John Doe, 13 years. Jane Doe, 17 years. John Doe, 5 years. John Doe, 7 years. John Doe, 12 years. John Doe, 3 years old. Jane Doe, 16 years. Jane Doe, 15 years. Jane Doe, 2 years old. Jane Doe, 12 years.
I don't need to go back there. I just go to
Jane Doe, 8 years. Jane Doe, 4 years.
That's
Jane Doe, 2 years old. Jane Doe, 16 years. Jane Doe, less than a year old. Jane Doe, 17 years. Jane Doe, 13 years. John Doe, 9 years. John Doe, 12 years. John Doe, 16. Jane Doe, 16 years old. John Doe, 8 years.
Our garden is filling up quite fast, and we're still having to plant more pinwheels for each child that River Bridge and CASA served last year. A total of 305 pinwheels will adorn. We still have, I think, a few more screwdrivers if you would like to help and complete our beautiful garden. In addition, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce to you to the leaders of River Bridge Regional Center and CASA of the Night, two organizations that are in existence solely for the benefit of children that need our support and services. They will also have a few words to say. First, I'd like to call on Blythe Chapman.
So I haven't read my names yet, so I'm going to do that first. I'm Blythe Chapman. I'm the executive director at River Bridge Regional Center. And first of all, I just want to thank Mary Cloud and CASA of the Ninth for putting this together. Pretty amazing, and a lot of hard work has gone into it. And thank you all for volunteering to be here today as well. Jane Doe, 2 years old. Jane Doe, 7 years old. Jane Doe, 10 years old. Jane Doe, 4 years old. Jane Doe, 3 years old. John Doe, 6 years old. Jane Doe, 2 years old. Jane Doe, 17 years old. John Doe, 5 years old. John Doe, 9 years old. John Doe, 2 years old. John Doe, 7 years old. Jane Doe, 15 years old. John Doe, 8 years old. John Doe, 4 years old. John Doe, 3 years old. John Doe, 13 years old. Jane Doe, 3 years old. Jane Doe, 17 years old. Jane Doe, 15 years old. Jane Doe, 9 years old. Jane Doe, 16 years old. John Doe, 1 year old. Jane Doe, 16 years old. Jane Doe, 11 years old. John Doe, 3 years old. Jane Doe, 3 years old. John Doe, 8 years old. John Doe, 11 years old. John Doe, 7 years old. So I think that it's pretty overwhelming for all of us to hear all of those names. It's still overwhelming for me to hear those names, even though we've been doing this for a long time. But I do always say this, that it's not those kids that we've seen that I'm worried about. Those kids that we've seen come through River Bridge and come through CASA have received services and support and belief and love that they need to go on and do great things. And I think that the folks here that are survivors would tell you the same thing, that they've persevered and are doing great because they got what they needed. They spoke up, they were believed, and they were supported. It's those kids that we didn't see and that we didn't have a chance to provide services to that I worry about. It's those kids that keep me up at night, and I know there are a lot more. We know that during the pandemic, child abuse reporting has been down drastically. We know that kids are not in front of mandatory reporters and likely continuing to be abused in silence and suffering without the ability to come forward. Even that being said, we just ended our busiest quarter ever at Riverbridge. January through March of 2021, we saw more kids than we've ever seen in a quarter before, and we've been around for almost 14 years. I don't know what that means. I like to always say that it likely means that our kids are coming forward and talking, that our partners are utilizing us more. I hope that's what it means, and I hope that it doesn't mean that more abuse is happening. And I just really put a lot of faith in that our services are being used. People know about Riverbridge, and so they're coming forward. Our services increase drastically every year, and I don't think that's going to go away, but we'll keep working on trying to work ourselves out of a job. We'll do our best to do that. I have an amazing staff, and I'm so proud of the work they do every day. We wouldn't be here and doing the good work that we've been doing without them. So I just want to say thank you to all of our staff and our partners that we work with. And with CASA of the 9th, we have an amazing community working really well together. So with that, I will hand it over to CASA, and I'm sorry. Hi. I would shake your hand, but I'm sweaty.
Thank you, Blythe. Hi, my name is Tracy Gurley-Tomaszewski, and I am the new Executive Director for CASA of the 9th. Hi, buddy.
Andrew.
I know. The first time I ever heard a teenager say, "No one cares about me," I was just out of high school myself. I was asking this young person to write a letter of gratitude to someone that had helped and supported him in his life. In response, he said he had no one because no one cared about him. Since then, I've come to know and see that same pain of not being cared for in so many children demonstrated in so many ways. And for some of the children involved in dependency and neglect cases in Garfield, Pitkin, and Rio Blanco counties, one of the first people they meet that takes interest, will listen and care about them, is their court-appointed special advocate, or CASA volunteer. This CASA is here to help elevate the voices of children in dependency and neglect cases, to express their needs and wants so that the court might clearly hear them. What CASA volunteers do for our children and families is no small feat. It requires commitment to knowing all the details of a case. It requires time, energy, heart, and diligence. And sometimes it requires them to encounter the hard truth that they are among the first people to sincerely care for some children in the court system. This work that CASA volunteers do is important, and because of community partnerships, support, and growing awareness, CASA of the 9th volunteers can continue their work. Nationally, in 2020, 420,000 children experienced abuse or neglect. In Garfield, Pitkin, and Rio Blanco counties, CASA of the 9th served 68 of these children in 35 cases. And all of this done despite of a global pandemic. We currently have 34 CASA volunteers and are training 7 more. We have more scheduled trainings in the coming months. Our mission is to provide well-trained, court-appointed volunteer advocates to abused and neglected children. We do this because we care and our children matter. And until April isn't Child Abuse Awareness Month, CASA will be here. We are for the children.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Gould. I'm the president of the board this year at Riverbridge, and I'm also a CASA, and I'm a little emotional right now because of the powerful planting of the pinwheels, and I want to thank everybody for being here, and I'm going to read you guys the letter I wrote to the editor. You may have already seen it, but I will read it for you guys. Did you know that 1 in 3 girls and 1 in 5 boys will experience sexual abuse before they turn 18 years old? These statistics are true across racial and socioeconomic lines. On average, more than 5 children die every day as a result of child abuse or neglect. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. During this month, it is important to honor children who are victims and survivors, as well as promote awareness and prevention of child abuse. We have an advocacy center right here in Glenwood Springs that serves the 9th Judicial District as well as Eagle County. Picking County. River Bridge Regional Center is a child-focused facility where law enforcement and child protective services collaborate to investigate allegations. Mental health and medical providers help families heal, and prosecutors are supported in holding offenders accountable. Riverbridge also provides the community with child abuse prevention and education with a variety of events, classes, and online resources. Riverbridge is designed to reduce the stress on child abuse victims and to improve the effectiveness of the response to child abuse allegations. Riverbridge saw 240 children last year, a 36% increase over the last 6 years, a 5% increase over our average in the past 5 years. The effects of the pandemic have had grim effects on children. We are seeing an increase in the frequency and severity of child abuse. We anticipate numbers of victims to increase as our country begins to open and children are back in schools and daycares and are being seen by those who can report abuse again. Crimes against children are on the rise and becoming more complex with online exploitation and trafficking. It is imperative that we remain vigilant in our fight against child abuse. Children are amazingly resilient, and even those who experience child abuse or neglect can overcome and reach their full potential with the help from a supportive community. We all have a duty and responsibility to protect our most vulnerable citizens. If you see something, say something. We can also look out for and care for each other. Check up on your neighbors, family, or friends who may be struggling and need extra encouragement. Families are less likely to struggle with child abuse or neglect when they have the resources and support they need. In honor of Child Abuse Prevention Month, you will see our pinwheels planted around town. Take a moment to acknowledge that it represents a child who was victimized. The pinwheels exemplify what childhood should and can be, nurturing and whimsical with a bright future where children grow and succeed. When we know more, we are empowered to do more. For more information about Child Abuse Awareness Month, please visit riverbridgerc.org. Thank you so much.
Now we do have one last very special presentation speech. But first, I'd like to also talk about Riverbridge's fundraiser this month. It is called Find Your Voice. It is sponsored by Ace Hardware of Carbondale, Alpine Bank, Fairway Independent Mortgage, and Roaring Fork Furniture. It's an opportunity for children and adults in our community to engage in a variety of virtual workshops that will inspire, inform, boost creativity, and joy. At Riverbridge, we help our child victims find their voice, reclaim their strength, and heal from their trauma. Now, I'd like to introduce you to one of our workshop leaders, an incredibly strong and determined young woman ready to share with you her voice. Please welcome Paige Quist.
I was silenced, stuck in my head, unable to grasp the reality that tried to halt my existence. It was the little things or anything that was not to his liking which set off the rage and violence. When I was around, though, he no longer destroyed his room, but transferred his anger onto me. I remember vividly many moments in which I was too scared to even function straight. I remember hiding in his laundry room, trying to stay completely silent. I was shaking so hard, and I heard him walking around trying to find where exactly I went. I can still hear him saying, "Babe, I swear to God, once I find you, I'm going to effing kill you." He had broken through his closet door fully that day too. So mad, he splintered the wood. Henry just had to be mad or inconvenienced or wanting to see me cry in order to physically assault me. He has slapped, punched, strangled, and even committed more acts against me. I was abused, and all I could do was repress it. Transferred at the end of July 2018, right before my junior year in high school. An incident widely focused on, falsely reported, and completely revealing. Maybe some of you have heard it, but maybe you have no clue. Here's what happened, without lies or media bias. Henry Henley and Keegan Callahan viciously raped me. I was suffocated into blacking out, restrained, tied up, and in complete shock. After they were done with me and left me while I had still been blacked out and tied up, I was able to get myself loose. I did what was something like a walk, slowly and shakily, to Henry's bathroom. I locked myself in there, sat down to pee, and immediately the pain rippled through my body. I was bleeding immensely. To an extent, I thought I was on a heavy flow of my period. I started his bathtub, filled it with hot water, and sat there, curled up. I left his house eventually, saw him the next morning for work, tried to tell him they raped me, to which he admitted he did not because he was my boyfriend. But yes, Keegan did. We broke up a week later. I attempted suicide a few days after, and then I was sent away. It has now been almost 2.5 years since I have come forward, and 1.5 years since they were sentenced and the cases were finished. I will not lie to you, the process was hard, but I was able to get through it due to my supportive family, my amazing therapist who I found after the incident, River Bridge, and Paul Huffnagel and Brian Stevens from the Aspen Police Department. It is support and believing the victim that helps victims to come forward. If I did not have any of these resources, I would have struggled to a different degree. I am now a freshman at the Clark Honors College at the University of Oregon. My major is psychology and my minor is creative writing. And my goal is to be a psychotherapist and sex therapist. I am almost 19, and these events happened to me when I was 15 and 16. Today I am here, alive, angry, hungry for change, and here to listen. The physical and emotional pain I have gone through, I do not wish upon anyone. No one deserves to ever live through events similar to mine, and to stop them from happening, we must open up full discussion and make ourselves address the uncomfortable. Domestic abuse, sexual assault and abuse, and child sexual assault and abuse is a growing issue in society. We have created a world where staying silent is safer than coming forward. Yet we need to make it to where staying silent is where the danger lies. I have had numerous people come to me, adults and children, to talk about mental health struggles, assault or abuse, addiction, etc. I have allowed myself to be a safety for others to communicate with. We all need to start standing behind victims, no matter what, because the more we come together, the more we will be able to invoke positive and necessary change. Through increased awareness and education, we can start informing our society of where change needs to occur. We also need to stop giving perpetrators excuses in order to start giving true justice. I was not the first of Henry and Keegan's victims, but I was the last. Maybe I would have been saved my traumas if we would have normalized coming forward sooner. Maybe others would have been too. And maybe Henry and Keegan could have gotten the sentencing they deserved and deemed as the true violent predators they are. I will not lie, I struggle some days more than others. Sometimes something will trigger me that I would never have expected. It is through continuous discussing and work that I'm able to be where I am today. Talking about what I have endured has helped set me free. Being able to talk at events such as these allowed me to see the power of my voice and the influence of it. I have pushed myself to be as open as possible about what I have endured and to share what I have learned. I know that if I can help someone else go through the process of coming forward in an easier and more positive experience, that I have at least helped one person. I do what I do today so I can try to prevent anyone from going through what I did, so that maybe one day we will live in a world where we can openly discuss points of trauma or hardship. Maybe one day we will not allow rapists, molesters, abusers, etc. to wander our world. I encourage anyone who has been a victim of any form of abuse or assault to come forward. I promise there are resources such as Riverbridge, Response, and local police departments, especially with more education, that will be there for you the whole way. I also promise there are people who will stand and fight with you. My life, voice, and purpose was almost drained from me, but I have now found it, louder and stronger than ever. Until we start fighting for change and addressing the societal problems and ignorance, we will not see improvements. My voice is found. I have found myself. I will never be silenced, and you never have to be either. Thank you, everyone, for coming today.
Thank you, Paige. Thank you all for your time to join us today in acknowledging our child victims of abuse. While these pinwheels represent a child that we saw in 2020, those of us that work at River Bridge, CASA of the 9th, Human Services, law enforcement, our volunteers and other agencies we work with know that these pinwheels represent a child already or yet to be seen in 2021 that will need our services and support. There are pinwheel gardens all across the valley from Aspen to Parachute in Meeker and Eagle County. If you pass by one, please stop, take a moment, spin the pinwheel, and hope that the child is finding the help and healing they need to live their best life. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming.
It looks good.